Hello, 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 my friends again. Hello, 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 my friends again. We're back for another video. Let's go in here and do some Disney characters, yo. What is up? Welcome to the channel where I talk, you listen. I'm your host, Anonymous, and welcome to the channel where I talk about Disney things. Man, my voice cracked hard. Anyway, okay, guys. So, today we're going to be doing a ranking video. We're going to be doing the Disney princesses ranking video. We're going to be ranking these Disney princesses based off of their overall life story. So, based off their traumas, their villains, their families, their livelihoods, everything about these characters is going to make them either have the worst life of all or the best life. Speaking of best or worst lives, that is our ranking list for today. Which character had it the worst? Which character had it bad? Which character had it okay? Which character had it the best? Obviously, the one at the bottom, the best, is the worst for today. Now then, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, here are our Disney princesses for today. All right, so first on the list, we got Aurora, Sleeping Beauty, I believe, right? Her life. Let's see. I think she was like homeless. She was like living out in the woods, first of all, without any care or help. I think she was like royalty or something. She just didn't know it. And she eventually got to that point later on in life. But I think she was asleep for most of this movie. So I think, okay, so she was lost in the woods for a long time. And then she was cursed. And yeah. Okay, I remember the story now. Got it. Yeah, she was cursed as a child. And so her life was already pretty messed up from the get-go. She was screwed. Yeah, she had a pretty bad life. I'd say pretty bad. You know, that just rolled off the tongue so nicely. Next on the list, we've got Snow White, the blank canvas. Let's see, what do I know about Snow White? She lived alone by herself. She had a nice house. She sung with the birds and the deer and squirrels. She even met some dwarves, had a good time with them. They didn't try to eat her or anything like that. I think she lived pretty good. She was just a little bit naive, right? She took an apple from a person she didn't know. Or did she know that there was the queen? I don't think so. I'm not exactly sure, but I know that her life is not the worst. It's not the worst. It's really not that bad. I mean, she got poisoned later on in her life. What is she, like 15, 16? Okay, that's pretty early. But, but she did get saved in the end. Also, I didn't talk about Aurora's end, which also she did end up being saved in the end and then got to live the rest of her life with her riches. So, I mean, overall, did she have a really bad life? I don't think so. I don't think she had a really bad life overall. But her being lost in the woods for the first couple 10 to 13, 14 years of her life is just being in the woods. So I think that's pretty bad. You know, I'm gonna leave her there. I'm gonna leave Snow White here because I think she had an okay life. She was just dumb. Moana, I think she had the best life, right? She had great family. She had an island with loving friends and family, animals. The only problem that she really ran into was I think that they, you know what? I'm not even gonna say. Because I don't want to be wrong. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that her life was bad at all. She even got to sing a lot in hers. And of course Snow White got to sing too, but you know, this is different. She was on the waters, you know, singing. No. Her life was fine. Cinderella. Yeah, she spent the majority of her life being a slave to her stepsisters and stepmother, being tortured. I can't say that she had the worst life because she was sheltered for one, and then yeah, she just kind of was bullied, traumatized by her. I mean, I'm saying it so that it sounds really like light, but it's definitely a serious thing. I'm just playing it down a little bit just for the simple fact that there are multiple people on this list who have it worse than her. Okay, I'm gonna say that she had an okay life. Yes, people get bullied. People get bullied by their siblings all the time. You know, you get forced to do chores and all that stuff. You feel like that's the end of the world. Yeah, you know, you're a child, whatever. Yeah, no. And then also at the end, she ended up being like, she got married to the prince. He would not marry anyone else but her because she had the glass slipper. She also had a freaking magical fairy. So, yeah, she had a lot going for her. A lot of people were on her side when she needed it most. Yeah, her life was okay. Who was that? Oh, Kita. Huh. I don't think Kita had a bad life either. I'm not gonna say the best life because I don't remember her backstory that much. But I know that it's not the worst backstory. And if I'm wrong, please, let me know down in the comment section. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm just trying to rank these princesses here. Okay. Next on the list, we got Pocahontas. In real life, I'm going to go ahead and say that Pocahontas had the worst life. But we're not basing this off of reality, because if this was based off of reality, Moana would have died out there at sea. Snow White would have never been able to come back from the poison. Sleeping Beauty got cursed. So, yeah. Yeah, so back to Pocahontas, right? I guess, Disney spun it in a way where her life wasn't bad. She had family. She had a village. And yes, she had to battle racism and colonization, which is terrible. We all have to do that when we have this skin. But, for the sake of the story that was told from Disney's perspective, I'm gonna go ahead and say that she didn't have a bad life. She also got saved in the end by John. Didn't she get married to this 30-year-old man? Yeah, she had a pretty decent life. You know what? I'd even say that she had the best life. No, I'm just kidding. She was no. Okay, Anna and Elsa, I'm gonna do as a pair. Should I do them as a pair? I don't know. I'm gonna do them as a pair because, well, no, I'm not gonna do them as a pair because that would loop both of their traumas and emotions in with one another, which would be rude to one of the others, not giving both of them their due process. So, I guess we're just gonna go with Elsa first. Right, this is Anna. Elsa, Anna. I don't remember their names, okay? I don't watch Frozen like that. I know the songs a little bit, right? I'm gonna be frank. I don't know the difference between Elsa and Anna. I get them confused all the time since the movie has come out. Okay, her. Let's go with her first. Bad life. Let's see. They grew up with their parents. I remember that. She was outcast because she had powers. I really don't remember. I'm gonna go ahead and say that they didn't really have a bad life. They were just emotionally scarred, maybe a little bit, and spoiled rich. They lived in a palace. They were like rich kids, right? So I said I wasn't gonna loop them together, but listen close to me really quick. I just don't I know that they had their own separate lives and their own separate stories and the things that happened to them personally, but at the same time, we're talking about their overall story. They grew up in a house with both their parents. They loved each other. I don't remember exactly how they split up and how they went their separate ways, but I know that in the end they did come back together. And yeah, they didn't live terrible lives. I can't even. No, none of these Disney princesses so far have really lived terrible lives. And you know what? I'm gonna go back at the end. Remind me to just kind of look at the overall list of characters we have here and then decide whether or not they should be in that spot or maybe somewhere else on the list. Next on the list, we got Tiana. I'm just gonna go ahead and say she had the worst. I mean, come on, she's black. You know, like we have it tough, man. And you know, there's people out there who be like, oh, you know, you're fine, you're just complaining. Well, maybe we are to you. But if you have enough of us who say the same thing, can you really deny that what is happening to us is wrong or is happening at all? I'm gonna get back to the list. But Tiana, for now, I'm gonna leave her there. She had a really terrible life. Wait, no, sorry. She had both her parents, right, until her father died, and then she was working 2 jobs just to make ends meet. And then also, this is like around the time where slavery just ended, right? And so like they're just trying to get their feet on the ground, create their own establishments. I'd say that her life specifically wasn't hard, but maybe her parents or grandparents' lives were a little bit harder. She did get turned into a frog, so that was traumatizing. And then had the battle with a guy who made deals with the devil. Her life was definitely traumatizing, but was it the worst? I don't know, because I feel like in the end she also got that what was it, a bakery or something? Louisiana. I don't remember. Excuse me if I'm wrong. But yeah. I know that she eventually got what she wanted in the end, which was like a restaurant or something like that. A bakery. Something of the sort with dealing with food. The movie came out in 2009, okay? So I haven't seen it in a long time. But I know I'm going to say that she had a pretty bad life because of she's the only one on this list who got transformed into something for quite a bit of time. I mean, you have to adjust to the anatomy of the animal, and then, you know, you still have your big brain while you're inside that animal. I'm surprised she didn't panic more. I'm rambling, but you know what? Let's go on. Let's move on. Ariel, spoiled child. She had everything she needed, everything she wanted. She just wanted to go up above the sea where the people are because she was curious. You know, curiosity killed the cat, and she didn't get killed, but yeah, no, she got everything she wanted throughout the whole movie. She even gave up her voice so she could get what she wanted. She was spoiled rotten. I'd say that she had the best life out of everybody on. Wait, nope, we're not done. There's 4 more, and I'm looking at Jasmine, spoiled rich. You know, her life was great. Come on. Jasmine, again, another one. Her life is great. She's rich. Come on. Her biggest complaint, her biggest problem is that she doesn't find any of the guys that her father's trying to set her up with as attractive or interesting at all. She likes Aladdin only because he has a little bit of story, a little bit of spunk to him, right? And that's because he's from the streets. He's a street rat. So that's why she likes him. He's got personality other than being a rich boy. So, with that being said, again, spoiled to death. Great life. Rapunzel, terrible life. So I just was looking into these characters before I did this video, and I had watched Tangled before, and it's one of my favorite Disney movies, but I did not know. Well, I mean, of course, the movie came out a long time ago, and I wasn't piecing everything together when I was watching it as a young kid, you know. So, yeah, when I was looking into Rapunzel, I found out that she was kidnapped by the woman, and she was taken from her parents, and then she wasn't able to leave. You know, I'm pretty sure all of that information was given to us while we were watching the movie, but I just kind of forgot. You know, you just kind of forget certain details about things. Anyway, so yeah, she had a terrible life, stuck in a castle. She couldn't leave. Not too many places for her to move and go within that little tower that she's in anyway. And she has a terrible kidnapper. I think that she might have the worst life out of everybody. She didn't have anything when the movie started. And I don't remember what she had at the end when it ended. So maybe she lived in the castle with the dude. I really don't remember. I'm gonna say her life was terrible. She definitely, even if her life was better after the end of the movie, I think that even still, she had a worse life than some of these people on the list. Some of these people went through nothing, basically. Okay, next on the list is Mulan. Mulan, this is a tough one because I don't think that Mulan had a tough life specifically. I think that in her father's old age, it kind of made him look like he had a difficult life because, you know, Chinese called Asian culture. Honor is a big part of that, pride and stuff. So dad couldn't go fight in the war. And so she took it upon herself to go do it. But these are decisions that she made herself. And that's why I'm gonna have to place her around the same spot with Ariel and Jasmine, because Jasmine again chose the parts of her life that were difficult, right? She searched for those issues, and so did Ariel. And so that's what I'm kind of placing them. Like I don't know about Moana, right? But the other three, those three at the bottom, definitely have that kind of flaw where they all just kind of did what they thought was best, right? And it caused issues amongst their circle of people, or you know what I'm saying. We've all seen these movies. We all know how that goes. So last on the list, we got Belle. Now, I really don't remember what Belle's backstory is. I remember that she likes to sing, right, at the beginning. I don't really know where she lives. I think she just lives in the village. I don't think that she... Oh, yeah, because her dad lived in the village, right? I don't think that she had a difficult life. You know what? I really don't remember Belle's story. But I'm going to say that I don't think that she had a difficult life. I think that she even got Stockholm Syndrome, right? She got kidnapped by the Beast and then fell in love with the Beast, right? And helped the Beast kill Gaston, even though I guess it was assisted suicide because he wasn't... he intentionally tried to shoot the Beast and didn't listen to anyone and tried to kidnap her. She was gonna get kidnapped no matter what. I'm gonna say that she had an okay life though, because I just cannot, for the sake of me, think of what Belle could have went through. Was she poor? I don't know. I think she was washing clothes or something. That could have been her own. Man, yeah. So this is the list so far. Let's just take a quick look at everybody here and then see if they belong there. And if you don't agree with me, please let me know down in the comments section where you believe some of these characters should go, and if you have any information that I'm missing for some of these characters, let me know that as well. Now, after looking at this list, I think that I might just leave it where they are, right? I almost want to just put Snow White down here as like, she had a great life. I don't remember her actually having any problems up until the point where she ate the apple. Yeah, and this looks decent. So yeah, that's the list. That's what we're gonna go with. Cause yeah, she was locked in a she was kidnapped first of all, and then locked away in a castle or a tower or whatever. And then Aurora fell asleep, living outside, and blah 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 blah. Tiana working 2 jobs, slavery, all that stuff. Those 3 characters deserve to be above the rest when it comes to the worst life ever. That's my list. Thank you guys for watching so much. Hit that like button, subscribe for more videos just like this. Be nice to each other out there. Show you boys some love and peace.